Welcome to the 80s and 90s Retro Collector.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 80s and 90s Retro Collector.
Hello everyone and welcome to the 80s and 90s Retro Collector. Today the sun is out. We are going to go to the biggest toy shop, vintage toys, all stuff retro in Essex. Nerd Base, Battlebridge. And my little mate's coming with me. Boom. Oh Lord. It'd be rude not to take him, wouldn't it? That's a good length. Don't like that card. Boom and a boom. That's put me off that. Yeah. Very good condition there. Very good condition. Got the newer WCW bigger Lex, like the rubber one, and another Lex that's not too great. But that one, I haven't got that. And NWO as well, that's cool. Never take him. What elites we got? Stunning Steve Austin. Andre the Giant. Oh wow, that's cool. That is very nice. $50 each on the Power Rangers. Very nice cards. Original stickers. They are lovely. Hawks. Waff pack is back on a mass destruction. So, had to get this. Essex'S biggest retro vintage toy shop. No base. Just look at this. £25. Looks like it would have done on the shelf in the shop 26, I believe, years ago. Believe it or not. Let's have a look. Yeah, 1999, Toy Biz. 1999, 26 years old. This have been, you'd have seen this in Toys R Us, and it literally looks like it would have done the day it went in there. Yes please. Thank you. Oh, gotta have the old Zero Sugar Cherry Coke.
Hi, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, whatever time you get this video, folks. Welcome back to the 80s and 90s retro collector.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the 80s and 90s retro collector. I am here this evening with two good friends of mine, Mr. Badger, Mr. Field, and we are going to do a little bit of talking about what got us into collecting in the first place and what we are most passionate about, nostalgia wise. So I'd like to start off with yourself, Mr. Brooks.
Lovely.
What is your favourite thing to collect and why?
Well, we've sort of discussed this off camera before, but there's definitely there's a few things. Retro Spider-Man toys, retro Venom toys, Alien and Predator, and I love board games. Now the board games bit, thinking back on it, I didn't even realise why before, even when we were talking before, but now it's clicked in. I used to spend hours and hours with my dad playing chess and drafts, and then my mum used to play Frustration with me, Kaplunk, all the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles games that were out, and all these different things. So a lot of my interests all sort of intertwine a bit, because when I was playing all the board games, I was watching the cartoons that were to do with them. I used to play the Crystal Maze board game a lot, and the Noel's House Party game, which I didn't really understand the rules of, but those two were fun. I was not allowed to play the Crystal Maze board game anymore after the fact that I rigged up the house like a trap room. So that sort of put stop to that. My mum and dad were very old fashioned, you know. I got a walloping back in the day because I rigged up the house. I think my dad nearly broke his leg. So,
Oh dear. Atmosphere. Either of you guys have any? You maggots!
Atmosphere's fantastic. I'm not sure if I've ever got my copy. Keep talking, I'm gonna have a look, see if I've got my copy.
Atmosphere, Nick. Any memories of that horrible man on there that
Not
says,
playing it.
"Come here," and you go to the screen and he goes, "You maggot!" And you're like, "Oh my goodness."
I remember saying that on TV and being put off ever playing it.
See this?
See this?
Yes, this
That's
is it.
that's kind of like
Love it! Wow.
And this is the DVD special edition that came out quite a few years ago. There's now an app version, but I like the DVD version because it's more involved. You get more involved with the DVD, and the DVD one is more like the original game. The one that's come out where it has an app is a bit less involved.
Okay.
So this one is by far the best edition in my book. I also have another game that I never played when I was a kid, but I love playing it now, which is Ghost Castle. And that's one of my favourites. That is,
Oh yeah, we used to play that a lot.
and that's a big shout to Viking for getting me that the other year for Christmas on my birthday. I can't remember which one, but it was
Drop
fantastic.
the skull and see where it lands.
That's it. It's no longer a skull. It is just a normal marble ball, but
Lime.
the same effect is there. Yeah.
Oh, so yourself, Nick. I mean, with me, it's WWF. I mean, anybody that watches my channel looks on my Instagram. I love collecting a variety of stuff, but the wrestling stuff holds a very special place in my heart because there's a memory attached to every one of those figures. I remember when I got nails on the yellow card when I was out with my mum one day and Nan, and we went into Argos. I remember when I got Mr. Perfect when I went to work with my dad one day. So that they are very, I sit there and I look at my collection and each one of them has got a lovely memory attached. So that's, for me, it's definitely the WWF, now WWE, for the younger viewers there, figures. What's sort of special with that sort of, with those memories attached for yourself, Nick?
In terms of what I was collecting,
Yeah.
I really liked collecting the Beano comics.
Ooh.
I had loads of Beano comics, got the annual pretty much every year, and my oldest nephew really got into it as well, so he was reading a lot of Beanos at one point. So we have even more of them than we used to. But yeah, I was really into like cartoons and comics. I had a bunch of comics from Count Duckula, Tiny Toon Adventures, Sylvanian Families, if anyone remembers them. But yeah, all of those I really enjoyed. That was what I was really into collecting. We were also into collecting little figures. So we had loads of those to do with the Get Along Gang. What else? Acorn Green, Care Bears, Smurfs. There are hundreds of Smurfs figures. It's quite ridiculous. So we had a lot of those. And we still got loads of them in like boxes and stuff. You know, I'm not really allowed to collect anything now because we still have too much stuff that we just can't contribute to even much more.
See, I'm the devil on the shoulder. I'll be like, Nick, you could start collecting this, and I'll be like, I bought you this for your new collection. It's a metaphorical thing, but one day there will be something there and be like, I got you a present.
It's a new Beano annual that just come out, you know.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, there you go.
And with you yourself, so obviously you got the Beano with yourself, Nick, and me with the wrestling. And then as I've got older, there's stuff that I didn't like as a child that's grown on me. There's stuff that my brother was into. And I've got to be honest, Masters of the Universe, he used to get what I thought were these ugly little figures, like gremlin type figures. And I used to be scared of them as a small child. I'm like,
I thought He-Man was terrifying when I was a kid.
And the movie terrified me when they all
Yeah,
chased
me too.
Courtney Cox and that hairy thing. And I'm like, no, I do not like this. But
With Dolph Lundgren. Yeah, see, I was actually really scared. And with, obviously Skeletor and Evil Lyn. Evil Lyn scared me more than Skeletor, I think.
Same.
In the film.
And
anyway.
I was scared of it, exactly. And it grew on me. Now, I look at, like when I see the Masters of the Universe logo, I've rewatched the film a few times. It's now one of my favourite films. And I love looking at a carded He-Man. I absolutely hate when you get these figures that come out and there's no effort. Like if you look at a lot of the newer stuff, the effort in the Masters of the Universe logo on some of the new stuff, it's just white. And then you look at how the effort and passion they put into the logos, Turtles, He-Man, Thundercats, back in the day, back in the 80s and 90s. They in My Little Pony now it feels like they've just quickly got it to like, let's just release. And the same with wrestling, you know.
Yeah, I mean, some of the wrestling figures. I was going to say that some of the wrestling figures now, you look at it and you have to look at who it is on the nameplate
right.
to realise who it is.
Yeah.
Some of the times it's really obvious, like Hogan, Ric Flair. Rowdy Roddy Piper, all that sort of stuff. That's really obvious.
Yeah.
But if it's like a wrestler that's like a mid-carder and they haven't really done a great render of their face, I'm like, who is this? Like,
yeah, I mean, you can look at. I get some new stuff, but you look at the difference from the art on the old Turtles cards and Masters of the Universe. That's what that they've realised that. That's why they're now doing these reproductions. And they're exactly the same, aren't they, as the ones in the 80s and 90s, because people want that. Instead of the new, no effort's gone in. It just says Master of the Universe, like somebody's painted it on, and then you got a He-Man on there, and you're like, is that meant to be? So that's why so many people I speak to, like, if I could just jump in a time machine and go back to 1985, when the movie soundtracks, everything had more passion behind it. And did you get that? Being the same similar age, aren't we?
I mean, what I miss now, I know that a lot of them were a bit pants, but what I miss now is that when you had a big blockbuster out, you had a video game to go with it. Yeah. Even the early Marvel films had that. There was a Thor game that was to do with the first Thor, and I think there was an Iron Man game that came out on the Wii. And I miss movie tie-ins because it was fun to go see the movie, and then if you had a spare 40 quid in your pocket, you'd go to game, you'd buy the game, and then you'd experience the whole thing again, but you were playing the film.
Absolutely.
And I miss that.
I do too, like on the Sega Mega Drive and the NES, the Ninja Turtles, and then Batman Returns. I remember playing the game and like, I miss that. There's a lot. The reason I tend to go to a lot of the older shops, there's a lot that I miss nowadays, and I'm glad I was a child when I was a child. I feel very lucky to have lived in the 80s and 90s.
Yes.
A
lot of people talk about this era of time as the world is so close together, but there's more people that are lonelier than ever.
Absolutely.
Because people have lost the skill of socialising and going out and leaving the house.
Yes.
Everything is given to you. You're lucky, but also unlucky at the same time. I was never good at socialising as a child. I actually had to get better at it as a teenager and an adult. Whereas a lot of people the other way around. But nowadays, people aren't forced, is the wrong word, given the opportunity to try and meet new people and do these different things.
I think if you want to meet more people online through online communities, and they certainly have their place, but you want to be able to level it out by meeting in real life as well.
Yes.
I mean, I got to meet so many people through a Romford community forum in the noughties. And, when I'd go out and we'd recognise each other from there, and we'd talk like we already knew each other, because technically we already did. So, and it just helped me become so much more outgoing and sociable, which I'd never been very good at as a kid. So, for various conditions that I didn't realise I had at the time. So, if you are the sort of person who associates a lot with a lot of online communities, just don't lose track of meeting people in real life as well.
Touching grass.
Yes, exactly.
And I mean, finally,
and not that whole Katy Perry, I've been outside now, so I'm an outsider. No, it's...
No, yeah. So,
I've been up to the sky. I'm an astronaut.
No comment. Anyway, so we're obviously actors. What is it?
So's Katy Perry. I've been up.
Can somebody send this guy a Katy Perry autograph picture so he can burn it? or get a kite and sort of attach it and go, you're back up there, Katy, back up with the fairies.
You stay up there forever, you Satanist.
Right, so what is it that got you guys into performing arts and acting? Was it your love of movies, being movie buff?
Yes.
Same as me, yeah.
Yeah. For me, like I was saying to you earlier on, I had a bit of a few bad instances. My brother died, had a bit of a bad separation, things like that. So I always said to Nick, we need to do this, don't we? I said to for years to Nick, even when we were doing On the Bench before, let's do a horror film. You know, we can do it. And then what happened was I had a few bad things happen in my life. I took 6 months off YouTube, and then I come back and went, you know what, I can actually do this. S.D to it. I want to move forward with my life and do something that I've never been brave enough to do. And that is what spurred me on. The fact that,
Good for you.
yeah, that is literally what made me do it, because I was like, you know what, I can't put it off any longer. If I put it off, nothing will ever happen, and I won't get to do it, and then I've done it. And we've had so many experiences already where we've had loads of fun, meeting new people, doing new things. I don't think I'd have ever met you, Swaley, unless I'd have made Nick from Monaco and Lost in the Woods and Ballamore and things like that. I don't think we'd have ever met. So it just shows you, you know, how things happen.
And I wouldn't have met Nick if it wasn't for Tony introducing me to him. And getting Nick involved with playing one of our detectives in Mother's Child, which is a feature that we did, and it opens so many doors, and it's like it's fate, isn't it? There's certain people I think on your journey you're meant to meet, and
yes,
and it's working out good, you know. Unfortunately, like any journey, you're gonna have a few bumps in the road, but ultimately we're here now doing something we enjoy, and I hope you guys watching enjoy it, and you know, and we're very blessed to be talking about all this stuff.
Yeah, I mean, that was the thing with us. There's been a couple of people that were in the team that aren't now, but there's a lovely person called MX Time Bunny. She's come back into the fold, which is great. Okay. So we've lost a couple and gained one back. So, you know, it's swings and roundabouts.
Yeah.
And then obviously now we've gained you on the team as well.
Yeah, hang on. Hey, and I'm loving it so far, guys. All the collabing. I think the world of you guys. I'm so pleased that we're all part of the same team and on the same side here. Now, with yourself, Nick, what was it that got you into... I mean, you're a very hard-working guy. Anybody that... Follow this guy on Instagram. He's on set most days. And then he'll do a radio show. Then he will go and do stand-up comedy, which is amazing. I recently watched him and I can't wait to see him again, hopefully in Upminster.
And a full-time job.
And a full-time job. Yeah, I don't know if he's got a bed or a television, because I don't know if he'd have time to use either of them. But what was it that got you, my friend, we've worked together on probably 4 or 5 projects over the last 6-7 years of knowing one another. What was it that first got you involved with this? Because you were a shy child growing up, you've told me several times.
I was. Yeah. I mean, I did it. I mean, the thing was, it's like I was always I was the one who could always like read with expression at school. Everybody else was reading like this, and often I'd get involved in like plays and media studies filming, because everyone else was too scared to be on camera. So a lot of the time it was like, fine, I'll do it. And I got offered a role when they did a version of A Christmas Carol. And so that was 30 years ago now. But it was about just over a decade ago when I finally took the plunge and got into voiceover work after saying years that I would actually do it. And one of the sites that I applied looking for voiceover work and joined also had bits and bobs of acting and extra work. So I thought, I'll put myself forward for this and do some networking and see what happens, and it kind of just evolved from there. So it was something that I'd kind of entertained for a long time, and then I started getting roles and people liked the performances I was putting in, you know. I mean, I haven't got my heart set on being like a Hollywood leading man or anything like that, but I really do enjoy working with upcoming producers and other actors and things like that, and it's just something that I find that I really enjoy doing.
And you're very good at it. You can play a wide variety of characters. I mean, I've seen you play a hard-faced detective in Mother's Child, which is currently on Prime Video, guys. Check it out. And I've also seen you play so many different roles. I mean, you played a coach, didn't you? And you are a teacher. You've played. Well, I mean, is there any roles you haven't played? You've pretty much covered. You know, you're the most versatile actor that I've worked with.
Yeah. I played heads of crime syndicates, and I have one. And yeah, I've got a couple more coming out. There's another one called Mega Twisters, in which I played a scientist.
Okay.
And I think the thing is, when you're acting, you kind of have to see what roles fit you. So I get cast a lot as police officers, teachers, therapists, because that's the kind of impression that I bring across. And when you are an actor, you know, there is nothing wrong with kind of leaning into what people see you as, at least to begin with, because you will get more work that way.
Yeah. See,
tell us what kind of role. Tell us in the comments what kind of roles Badger would be cast as.
Now, as you know,
Love to hear.
9 times out of 10, it's homeless man. But I do it well.
There's a market for playing homeless people.
I do it well. Eccentric mental patient, I think, is going to be one I want to go for. Homeless man, eccentric mental patient, eccentric billionaire, I think would be perfect. I would love to play as a wrestler. I think that would be great.
You would be a great wrestler. You have a great look, and we've definitely got to get you involved with a team effort.
Yes, indeed.
You have got to be one of our wrestlers, because you have got some pretty cool tattoos.
Thank you.
I saw the Batman one before, but I didn't notice this and this alien. And show them the Batman for the people that haven't seen. And it's Batman 89.
Yeah.
And Michael Keaton. That is absolutely amazing. I love it. I really want that tattoo.
Yeah.
Just you know, like I love.
So
it.
I think, you know, there's different ones, but I also here's a bit of a plug here and there, but Knock Knock Special Edition Director's Cut. I actually, in that, I play a serial killer called, obviously, Knock Knock. And you know, I think that was one of my favourite roles so far. I was able to channel my inner Jason, and I really loved it. And people are asking for the sequel, and I'm like, crumbs, I'm going to do a sequel to this.
Please do.
Yeah.
Please do.
But yeah, that was one of my favourite roles so far, was playing a sort of slasher villain. Yeah, but I thoroughly enjoy being Essex FBI and Big Cheese and all that sort of stuff.
And you're great at comedy.
Yeah, oh yeah,
I love
thank
all
you.
this stuff, and I love the daily dad jokes that you post on your YouTube channel. It always makes me laugh.
Yeah.
My partner, my daughter, even, she shouldn't be listening to some of them. She does. She's 8 going on 18, and yeah, it sort of makes us smile when we see you first thing in the morning while we're having our breakfast. So yeah, you're both you guys are great comedians.
Yeah.
Which again I love. So yeah, sorry.
No, I was just saying that Nick is fantastically dry. When you unlock that side of him, he is a very dry comedian, and it just works perfect. Because originally, the character of Nick Field on the field, as it were, you know,
Field Agent Field.
Was a very dry, bored, grumpy character.
Yeah.
And then as he's evolved, he's actually become like a bit more sort of lively and stuff like that. So I quite like it. And we've even managed to put in there that he's bi and things like that, so we've really developed the character. Big Cheese has stayed a grumpy FBI boss with a bit more personality. Obviously they're more friends now, but when we first started out, it was very much, you know, grumpy 9-to-5 FBI agent with over-the-top manic boss, and it's nice that the change-up has happened. Not all the fans like that, but my opinion is the fact that characters will evolve.
Yeah.
And these characters have been around for a few years now, so if you don't change them up, it's going to get stale, you know. So, and obviously with you now, hopefully about a bit more, we'll be able to introduce you as well. And Idris is going to be here as well. Unfortunately, he couldn't make tonight, but he's looking forward to meeting you. And obviously, if we get Time Bunny involved and some other people, you'll be able to meet some really quality people. So
looking
it's really
forward
good.
to it.
Yeah.
I mean, saying again about the dry humour with Nick, he reminds me. I mean, his acting style, some of the stuff. I've seen everything he's done because he's not only a friend of mine, but I'm a fan of his work and I admire his work ethic. He reminds me of like a Tom Hanks, a very versatile. And if you can watch the guy playing in a comedy role, and you watch him in he could play a great serial killer, and I'm going to believe it. And there's very few actors that can pull that off. Robin Williams being one, Tom Hanks being another one, and I could probably maybe Robert De Niro.
Yeah, because there's actually a film that Nick was in. And I'm a fan of it, and it's unreleased, unfortunately, and that's called The Grocer, where he does play a serial killer in that. And I'm telling you, even my stepson thought it was fantastic, and they are very hard to please. So I would recommend that we try and get Nick as maybe something either in Knock Knock 2, but I want Nick to be like the police officer in that. But maybe, we can sort something out. There's a twist there or something. Maybe we can figure something out. But yeah, Nick as a serial killer, because of the dryness, because of the straight edge kind of, and then there's a bit of humour there. It's fantastic.
Excellent, love it. And what's your dream role? I mean, finally, just to finish up here, what if if Steven Spielberg come up to you and said, look, I've seen all your stuff, we've got a great budget here, I'd like you, I'd like to work with you. What would your ideal dream? What made you want to get into acting? Like
I said, it's the love of the business, the love of the entertainment.
What do you see your favourite type of movie? What would you like to star in? Like a Jurassic Park movie, a Marvel movie? What's your dream role as an actor?
As long as I get to be the comedy sidekick with all the great comedy lines, I'm happy.
Now, I don't know if you'll remember it, but there's a film called American Splendor. So, for me, I would love to have a film about my own life. And that's not being egotistical.
Good film, American Splendor. I've seen it. Yeah.
That's not being egotistical. It's because my life is so weird at times that I think it would make a great dry comedy.
I'd watch it. Yeah.
But my dream role, like I was saying, was either to be, basic would be to be killed in a horror film, be Jack Warner, or be a Jason-like character. That would be, I think that would be fantastic.
I would love that. My favourite horror is Friday the 13th.
Yes.
And I would love to be like I always said if I could get cast in like a soap, I would want to be the bad guy. It's so much more fun, isn't it, to play that bad guy.
That's right.
You get your teeth into that role, and obviously you guys being horror fans, what's your favourite horror movie of all time?
Mate? That's a tough one.
It is, isn't it? Yeah.
Obviously, I really love the Blair Witch Project. I really love Halloween, Essex'S, all that sort of stuff. Really a big fan. Grew up loving slashers, like I Know What You Did Last Summer.
Yeah.
I would say my ultimate film is not necessarily one film, but the Scream quadrilogy.
That's what I would say would be mine as well. Just because I really like it's satirical, but also has all the tension of the films that it's aware of.
That's it, yeah. What about you, Sweeney?
My favourite horror from... I've got a favourite from 70s, 80s, 90s. I like Carrie, that was actually John Travolta's debut film. Yeah. Proper film. He was the boy in the bubble before that. Carrie, because my mum was such a massive John Travolta fan, she's like, watch this film, John Travolta's sort of debut. I'm like, yeah, so I watched that a lot. So that was my favourite horror. Then I liked Christine, the killer car. From the 80s, and I believe it came out in 1981, was the first Friday the 13th. Love it, seen it loads of times. The 90s, my favourite would be the original Child's Play from 1990, Chucky. Again, seen it so many times, love it. From 2000, I Know What You Did Last Summer.
That's it.
96, so with the early 90s, it's Child's Play. 96 onwards, definitely Scream. Love Scream.
Yep.
Love all the Scream movies.
And we got a new one coming out, and there's a new I Know What You Did Last Summer coming out as well.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
And a new Final Destination.
Yeah.
Saw that at the train station yesterday. So
lucky you didn't get squished.
Yes. So yes, it's ridiculous, but you're tense when you're watching it.
And it's also Tobe Hooper's last ever role.
And this is the final destination.
Yeah.
Right? Ah, Toad
Because
Hooper for the Chainsaw Massacre.
No,
No.
the guy, Candyman, isn't it?
Tony Todd.
Yes,
Tony Todd.
Right.
Tony Todd. Tony Todd, it's his last role because he died shortly after filming
Yeah.
the voiceovers for Venom,
right.
the new Spider-Man game.
That's
yes.
right.
Yes, yes,
Right.
yes. So this is his last acting role. And, yeah, which is sad.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Legend.
and, yeah, absolute ledge. But yeah,
Candyman. Terrified.
and the new, I don't know if you've seen it, but the reboot of Candyman, technically the fourth one, was a superb film. So if you've not seen that, please do watch it. They did Candyman 1, Candyman 2, they did some straight to DVD garbage, and then they made one on Prime, and it was Chef's Kiss.
Absolutely
Yeah.
right. We'll have to do it. Now, where could the viewers see your great films, Jeff?
Right, well, thank you very much, Mr. Sweatley. If you hop on to YouTube and type in Brawling Badger Productions and then type in Ballamoron, you will find it. There's a whole playlist of all the different films. We've got the Essex FBI ones, we've got Ballamoron, we've got the series of where, you know, I won't lie, when I get bored, I make a trap film, which is basically a parody on Saw. That's a bit of fun. I've also got an Easter special out called Eggshells, and I did one recently, which is, I think, one of my favourite horror films that I've made, which is called Anniversary, about a man who's alone in his house. He celebrates his dead wife's anniversary, and then, you know, things come back to haunt him, and bad things that he's done get revealed, and it's quite spooky.
I look forward to seeing that. Okay, and how would somebody be able to get hold of yourself if they wanted to either audition for a role in one of your projects, ask you some advice on breaking into the acting business, and so on and so forth?
Well,
yeah?
obviously you could, if you wanted a quick answer, you could comment on one of the films, or you could get in touch via Instagram, things like that.
Excellent. There you have it,
Brawling
guys.
Badger Films, I think, on Instagram.
On it, yeah.
I'm sure that
that's
there'll
right.
be many people that would love to be involved in some of your great. I mean, I'm very grateful for being cast, and we're going to shoot a scene after this. And you know, I've been watching you guys for a good couple of years now, and I love the way you guys. You're like a great double act, and the comedy, and whether it's comedy, horror, so you can sort of play it all. So to be involved with you, I've been wanting to do it for a while, so I'm very grateful for that. Yourself, Nick, where could anybody that wanted to see some of your work go to, please?
nickfieldmedia.com is my website, and that, I think, all my social media links. I'm at Nickfield Media on all the socials. I do have a YouTube channel which has my show reels on, so you can find me on there. And so those are the main means of getting in touch with me.
IMDb, of course.
IMDb, I'm on there as well. We're all on IMDb, with our impressive resumes.
Yes.
And yeah, so you can also hear me every Wednesday at 8 p.m. on phoenixfm.com as well.
That's it. And also you can check me out on my own channel and Swaley's, because we've been doing daily collabs on there. In fact, I woke up at 6 o'clock in the morning this morning and filmed one, and then promptly went back to sleep afterwards.
I literally went on, and yeah, as I've gone on, literally he's like, "Here you go, mate." I'm like, wow, okay, that was good timing. And always enjoy watching your stuff, and I know all the viewers do. You know, and it's it's good fun. Thank you, everybody, for watching. I hope you enjoyed this chat, and many more to come, hopefully.
And we'll see you all next time.
Yeah, leave your thoughts in the comments, guys. Please give us a like and subscribe. Also to this gentleman's, and check this guy's Instagram out. He is a hard worker that deserves support, because he
Doesn't sleep.
He doesn't sleep. And he just needs that lucky break. If anybody's watching, like Steven Spielberg, making a new Jurassic Park or whatever.
I know. I'd love for you to work with Yul Bowl. I think that'd be hilarious.
The next Dr. Alan Grant. Yeah,
I think you should work with Yul Bowl. And that way, if you don't get on with him, you'd have a boxing match at the end.
Boom, boom, boom. Right, guys. You have a great evening. Thanks for watching the show. We're now going to get to work on the scene.
And we'll see you next time. Ballamoron 2 is in the works as of now.
Yes.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye, Retroheads.
Bye.